Welcome to the Autumn Classic and the 118th edition of Paris Tour. One of the final outings of the peloton season, and the riders having to navigate the conditions with rain and wind served up. Eddie Sheehan caused a shock last year, and the American excited to defend the title.
It's so nice to be back here. I've been looking forward to this race all year long, and to have the number one is almost surreal. It's incredible. For sure, the rain's going to add a little bit more chaos, but I actually don't mind the rain in a race. So just kind of looking forward to it, and it's not too cold, so that's good. And whether it's rain or shine, I'm just psyched. So yeah.
Sheehan, one of 4 former winners taking part, including the man who won it twice before him, Arnaud Démare, aiming to become just the 5th to win it a 3rd time, but a first in these conditions. Well, I've never ridden here under the rain. It could become a bit chaotic. We'll need to be wary as we head for the gravel roads. Of course, there will be plenty of wind, headwinds as well. We'll need to take it easy on the route to the first path because the first one will be very important. Victory at Traux-Bro-Léon back in May suggests the course could suit Belgian champion Arnaud Démare, but the conditions even mean the 22-year-old struggles to make any predictions. Well, it's always challenging to predict who will win Paris Tour since the introduction of the gravel roads. Some might say it's a bunch sprint, but the weather means the race is wide open. 100 metres shorter than 12 months ago, but otherwise little difference from Chartres in direction of Tours, taking in 10 vineyard paths and 8 difficulties. Rain and headwinds likely to complicate the peloton's progress. 4 escapades at the start, but that was whittled down to 3 heading into the final 90 kilometres of Paris Tour 2024. The first contact with the vineyard paths looming, youngsters Enzo Boulet and Mikel Retegui, following an ideal pace setter in Edoardo Affini. The Italian ruler, the reigning European time trial champion after winning the title last month. The peloton not allowing a gap of more than 2 minutes by this stage, and despite less than idyllic weather, the pack keeping up a good rhythm, 4 hours of riding and around 42 kilometers per hour. The breakaway clawed back some time, but Lidl-Trek upped the ante for former world champion Mads Pedersen. His first Paris Tour, in conditions favouring the 28-year-old whose 2019 world title was won in a Yorkshire deluge. The Dane making a move on the Côte de l'Imeray ahead of the first vineyard of the same name. As the leading trio rode into the mud, Pedersen noticed he was all alone. The peloton finally into the mix, 10 vineyard paths in total covering 10 muddy kilometres. Pedersen in between but gunning to join the head of the race. By path 8, La Grosse Pierre, the Great Dane had bridged the gap, but a lack of cohesion saw the gap shrink sharply. Boulet and Retegui couldn't keep up as Pedersen and Affini kicked on. Louis Asquet hoped to repeat or better his second place last edition, but despite his efforts, a podium return wasn't to manifest for the Briton. Time for a former champion to take up the chase. Søren Kragh Andersen won in 2018 when the vineyard paths were first introduced. As the Dane led single file, the duo up the road, protecting nearly 30 seconds with Affini desperately clinging to Pedersen's wheel. Yet there was no protection for Kragh Andersen from setting the pace to suffering a punishing puncture. Then a move of menace made with 33 kilometres remaining. 2023 European champion Christopher Laporte hit the accelerator. The Visma Lease bike rider and Lidl-Trek's Matthias Vacek aimed to double up for their teams, but Laporte's teammate Affini couldn't match the Frenchman's output, while young Vacek took over from Pedersen. After 47 kilometres on the attack, the Dane finally distanced. Visma versus Lidl-Trek 2.0, unless the peloton could reel in the mud-covered pairing. The final section in Roche-Cobon, with the gap stabilising above 30 seconds, with the chasing peloton running out of time to shut it down inside the final 10 kilometres. Well, any hope for sprinters like Belgian champion Arnaud Démare appeared to be dashed, with teammates unable to bridge across. As they passed La Flamme Rouge, with no fight back mounted, it was a two-man battle for the line.
Laporte checks. Vacek might have put Laporte into the lead here. They're almost at a standstill. It's a track stand between these two riders. We just click over 5 hours of racing. Laporte now accelerates away. It's going to be Christophe Laporte. Vacek into the slipstream though. Laporte goes for the line. Vacek tries to get past, but it is going to be a victory here for the rider from Visma Lease bike. The Frenchman Laporte wins. Here comes the sprint finish. The rest of the peloton coming in. And here comes Jasper Philipsen looking for third place on the day. Philipsen powers through. He takes third place, wins the bunch sprint. But it's Christophe Laporte of France who wins the Paris Tour.
Only the fourth Frenchman to win Paris Tour in the 21st century. All the sweeter for Laporte, given he hadn't won in over a year. A bronze medal wasn't quite the colour he'd dreamed of at a home Olympics, but a first Autumn Classic success, a perfect way to end a mixed 2024 season. I'm very happy. I wish I'd won more since my last win at the European Championships last year. I wasn't able to defend the European road race title, unfortunately. But of course, it's not easy. I had a great experience at the Olympics, but not the one I wanted, as I didn't win. The feeling was there, but the motivation becomes more challenging with each disappointment. Today, I was really motivated to perform. I liked the conditions, the paths, and the gravel, and I wanted to finish the best I could. Christophe Laporte securing a third home win in 4 editions for Les Bleus. Matthias Vacek second, as the 22-year-old Czech continues to show great promise. Jasper Philipsen at the front of the bunch sprint to complete the podium ahead of Mike Teunissen and Alexis Renard. But a victorious conclusion to Laporte's season. Could it open the door to more success in 2025?